welcome everybody to another episode of the Gressel special. Really excited for this one, to be honest. I think almost everybody knows now that I'm a pretty big golf fan, and I'm really excited to be joined by a current PGA Tour member, Tom Lewis. Tom, welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so for everybody who doesn't know Tom, he is his first year on the PGA Tour. He had a second place finish this year. I think it was his best finish on the PGA Tour at the WGZ FedEx St. Jude Classic or Invitational. He's won multiple times on the European Tour and earned his status through the Corn Ferry Tour Championship last season. So congrats on all of that. I'm sure it's a pretty exciting time for you at the moment. I have to ask you at first, for all the golfers know, a professional golfer travels a ton. Where are you right now in the world, and what's going on in your life at the moment?
Right now, I am in Bermuda, so I've just flown back from the UK yesterday. I'm here for this week, and then it's a lovely island. The weather wasn't great today, but it should be better. And then we're going to be in Houston next week, and then I'm in Miami again for a week, and then we're up in Georgia for a week. So we travel a lot.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, that must be difficult, but we got talking a little bit before the show where you're obviously from England. You spend a lot of time over there, and you also have made now a little second home in Miami, where you try and just pick your home bases throughout the world like that, so that you can always kind of come home, I guess, in a way. How has it been for you on the PGA Tour this year? I know it's your first year, and how's it going in general?
It's been good, it's obviously been a shame I haven't had the full experience because of the COVID situation. We haven't had the crowds that we really were used to, or that I expected. And the travel they've done an amazing job, the PGA Tour, with the testing every single week and making sure everyone's safe, but it's still been amazing. It's been a dream to play out here, and, finally I've had an opportunity, and I'm looking forward to having another year on the PGA Tour, and I think good things are going to be happening soon. So hopefully the crowds come back as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I want fans. We had just our first game with fans again this past weekend, and it's a totally different feel to it for me, at least.
Yeah.
Has anything surprised you on the PGA Tour so far? I know you've obviously played in Europe a bit and on the Corn Ferry Tour, but especially coming up, I feel like it's the biggest tour in the world, right? So has anything stuck out to you in that sense?
You know what, the depth, the European Tour is really good. It's really strong, but it's very top heavy. You can have a bit of an average week sometimes on the PGA Tour, on the European Tour, and still probably finish in the top 20. And over here, you just can't do that. The guys are just too strong in depth, and you have to get used to the speed of the greens. They're definitely faster over here, so you have to add more break. In Europe, you can be a little bit more aggressive and a little straighter. So that's probably been the one surprise for me. So it's opened my eyes to just working a little bit harder and pushing myself to get better.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure that you notice so many little things that just make it so much harder to go play a good round of golf. I know I play a little bit, obviously, and I find it fascinating. I think it's a great game, and I absolutely love it. But I know that you're a big soccer, or well, I have to say football, right?
Football,
Fan
yeah.
yourself. Yeah, you're a big Liverpool fan. So what? Obviously, after 20 years, or 30 years of winning the championship in your lifetime for the first time, right? How did that make you feel? What was that experience like for you?
It was pretty amazing. You could kind of tell that they were building a really good team with Klopp, and I think he's amazing. I'd love to meet him one day. I just think his mentality is perfect for the modern day footballer. I think the players obviously want to work hard for him, but they have a lot of respect for him. And to be able to watch them win like they did, I think is pretty special. I think, and also how strong Man City are as a team just shows how good Liverpool are, and if so, probably the best team in the world right now. But obviously, it's been bad news that Van Dijk is out for the season, so that's going to put a hell of a lot of pressure on us, and that probably means that we won't win the league now. But still be fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you're giving me just the standard answers here. I really want to know how you felt during that. When they won the trophy, and did you celebrate? Like, what was going through your head as a fan? You know, like I know you understand the game and all that, but what was going on like as a
Well, the
fan? You
thing
know,
was,
those
we couldn't
pure emotions.
we couldn't celebrate because it was in COVID, right? So there wasn't much to do. My family live up in Liverpool, and we were down south. We live near London, so there's more Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans and Tottenham fans. So obviously, a lot of those kind of gave me a lot of stick and saying things they shouldn't say, but it was just great, to be able to watch them and like just basically laugh and just have a great time because it was obviously inevitable that they were going to win way before. So, and obviously then with no
Yeah,
crowds, it was a little bit of a shame we couldn't hear that atmosphere, like the atmosphere they had against Barcelona when they won in the Champions League. Like that would have been unbelievable to be able to have like seen that. But unfortunately, it was a bit of an anticlimax because of the world situation.
yeah. I mean that's on my bucket list, man. To go to a game at Anfield and just just be there for one game.
Mm.
Speaking of which, what was like? Do you have like a specific memory in a soccer or a football stadium, or for a specific game, or what was like the best game you've ever attended?
It's really sad to say, but because of the travel that I have right now, I haven't been able to go to any really decent games. So I can't really say that I'm a real true fan. Um, but I'm very lucky to be able to play golf with other ex-football players like Jamie Redknapp and Andrei Shevchenko, and they've taken me to games when they've been working, and you know to be able to watch Liverpool beat Chelsea at Chelsea in a box with Andre, and like it's been fun because you get to sit there with Abramovich and these type of guys, and it's just
Yeah,
unbelievable. You can't do that without knowing the people that and to have that experience and to really listen to the Liverpool fans is pretty. I'm very honoured to be able to say that I support them and I'm able to have friends like I do.
yeah, that's great. That's amazing to have those type
Mm,
of connections and those memories.
mm.
Did you when you were growing up? Obviously, football is massive in England, right? Did you ever had a dream of becoming a professional soccer player or a football player, or was it always kind of golf, or kind of
Yeah.
how did you end up becoming a professional golfer? I guess that was the
Okay,
question.
this is going to be a good story. So basically, I would say I'm probably a better football player than I am a golfer. Like that's not just me
Okay.
saying it. I'm left-footed. I can use my right foot. Um, I was good. I was dyslexic, so my brain worked really fast, and I could see the game without actually looking. So I would say it got to when I was 15, and people were sort of interested in me from a football point of view. We're going to call it football, not soccer. We're going to call it football, and
Yeah, that's fine.
we basically had to make a decision like which direction am I going to go in? Am I going to go down the route of being a football player, or am I going to go down the route of being a golfer? And you know, my dad said to me, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Okay, let me play football." And he said, "Well, all your friends are in golf and you've trained in the gym for years as a golfer, so I think you should just do golf." So I was like, okay, well, decision's made. That's exactly what happened. So that's how it went, and I wouldn't change it, but I would have
Okay.
probably been a little bit more success. It would have been a little bit more successful for me as a footballer, but who would have known, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? But I mean, you're doing pretty well for yourself, and that's pretty cool that your dad actually made that decision for you there.
I kind of already
That's
made
funny.
it. I already kind of made it, but I just wanted to see what he'd had to say because I knew that's something he would have
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. Good, good. That's awesome. And I guess I'm sure he's pretty proud of you right now of having come so far, obviously in golf, and who knows how it would have worked out in football. But
I'd
now that
still
you're,
love, I'd still love to come and practice or play, with you guys at some point if I can. I'd love that.
yeah, man, anytime, anytime, come by, we'll have you out for sure, and then we'll return the favor. I'll go on the golf course with
Perfect.
you. Now, obviously, that you spend more time in the U.S. and probably in the coming years as well. Hopefully, you get to establish yourself on the PGA Tour and win some tournaments as well. That'd be awesome. But have you caught any MLS games? What's your favorite team? You said you kind of based in Miami there, so I know they just got a new team. So, what's your take on
Yeah.
MLS in general?
Well, obviously, like I haven't got MLS really like in the UK because the Premier League's such a big big thing over there. So when I'm over here, I can see games. You know, I can see the way guys play, and you can see the standards really growing. But I haven't been to a game. I haven't witnessed it. I can't really comment. But I think from what I see, it'd be something that would be my sport over here outside of golf, and being the connection with Miami. And then obviously I grew up watching David Beckham, who is a part owner of, you know, Inter Miami. I think that would probably have to be my team, or DC United, obviously now. So either of those two. That's where my allegiance is.
Way to get out of it. Way to get out of it.
Yeah.
No, but that's cool. I know. It's pretty nice because I follow, you know, Ian Poulter is very active on social media, for example. I follow him quite a bit. And he, you know, always posts about Arsenal and going back to England and like all this stuff where I feel like they haven't really tapped into the MLS market yet. Where, you know, I think if you're on the road, like if you make it to Eastlake, for example, I think you can go to Atlanta or you come to a tournament, you know, around here, like come to a game. Like our games are at night, you know, you're not going to play golf at night. So I'm sure that, you know, during your travels, it'd be cool to probably check out some games in MLS.
Yeah, 100%.
If you want to. And
I'd like to do that, yeah.
That'd be cool. I'll definitely hope to see you around. But let's switch back to golf because I mean I'm really interested in these questions, man. I got to ask you. So I want you to walk me kind of through a regular day of the life of Tom Lewis, like a practice day and then a tournament day. Like what did you do? Yeah, just to get ready for a tournament on a like Monday, let's say today. You know, like you have a regular day to get ready for the tournament that starts on Thursday.
So like if it's like today and the weather was nice, we'd probably, you know, get up early. I'd try and get out as the first person possible on like a Monday or Tuesday. Get 18 holes in, check out the course, see how it's playing, have some lunch, assess what's going on, and then maybe do a few hours of practice on the areas that I feel that golf course needs for this week, whether that's driving or whether that's a lot of putting from short range or long range, whatever that is. So that would be more a typical preparation for a tournament. But my hard work's normally away from the course, where I will work, you know, from early morning. I would try and wake up and get some cardio in, and then get to the range, hit some balls, have a recess, do some putting, chipping, play 9 holes, see how I felt that day, and then maybe do some more practice depending on the weather, and then go back and try and do a gym session in the evening before dinner. That would be a typical day for me. And obviously being in the US, like in Miami and Palm Beach, the weather's so great, you know, you can get them days quite often in the week, but obviously in the UK it can change. You know, for me it's about catching up with family, you know, trying to enjoy myself a little bit more at home, especially with the weather that is now. It's just cold and windy and a bit miserable. So I'm really enjoying myself over here in the US.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, you're not on the 17 protein shakes a day diet like Bryson DeChambeau. You're not chasing the like distance like he is right now, are you?
No, absolutely not. I think from being in a football environment as a kid, I want to go down the route of slim, you know, wiry, being able to run a marathon, being able to lift weights, being able to do multiple things. I think with someone like Bryson, he's very limited in what he can do now because he's so heavy, you know. You got to give him a lot of credit for what he's doing, but that's not the route I'm going to be going down, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. I kind of like that approach better, to be honest. I'm more of a feel guy myself, you know, not so mechanical, like just kind of go out there and see how you feel and then practice, work on the things that, you know, you just need to work on and go from there. So I want to ask you another. I think those are tough questions. What advice would you give yourself when you were younger? And then that kind of translates to what advice would you give now younger kids or teenagers that are trying to, you know, decide to or trying to want to make it as either professional footballer or a professional golfer?
I think for me, when I was a kid, my dad was very confident in the direction we were going. You know, we didn't, you know, we were going up the stages, we were winning at every level, and we were able to be confident and saying, look, we don't want this. This is what we're doing. if we want to play in the England squads, then you're going to have to accept that this is what Tom does, and it worked. And then when I turned professional, I felt like I needed to learn a lot more. So I tried really hard, and I went down wrong route, and I went through a little bit of a dip. I think if I was to do it again, I would definitely be confident in the direction I was going and feel like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm confident, but I don't want to be arrogant, because I think if you're going to be arrogant with it, you become limited. And that's when you sort of slow your process down, rather than, I think, if you're confident in what you're doing in the direction you're going, but always wanting to learn, that's where I feel the person is going to excel fast. That would be my advice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that even in golf, right? That like kind of goes back to even on a day-to-day basis for you, right? Like you make one bad shot and then you can't let that shot like affect the next one, kind of, right? So you have to learn from that and kind of just keep moving forward in that direction, which is pretty cool approach. But I think that's a great advice. And I hope those teenagers and kids that are listening right now are really taking it to their heart too. All right, I think to end, we got a little bit of rapid fire, and we can get into some longer conversations about those as well. But
Sure.
So to start, what is your most memorable moment you had on the golf course up to this point for you?
Memorable. I think when I won in Portugal for the second time, I think that was pretty memorable. I think making the par on the 17th hole that I did, I think I hit it in the water, made a drop, nearly hit it in the bunker, hit it on the green, and hold this really long putt. I think for me that was something that will always live with me, because if you asked me to hold that putt at any point, it would be like 1 in 100, and I ended up doing that in that tournament. So I think that's probably something that will always stick with me for sure.
That's pretty cool. It's to win the tournament, and those are big moments. That's awesome. How many hole-in-ones have you had in your career, or just like practice rounds, whatever, just throughout your whole golf life?
I haven't had many. I think I had one, the first one when I was 5 on a par 3 course, and then I had a couple, and then my next one was as a professional, and I won a champagne. Then the next one I won a car, and then
Nice.
and then I think I maybe had one more. So I think I've only maybe had 4, not many at all.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, at least you're progressing in the winnings there, and what you get as a pro.
Yeah, I don't know which one's
one.
the next one. A plane, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't had a single one, so I'm waiting just for the handshake of my, the high fives from my playing partners. That's about it. That's all I'm waiting for.
I bet you that you get a hole-in-one when we play at the Bears Club. I bet you any money.
That would be amazing. I would love that. All right, next question. What's your dream foursome?
I think Tiger Woods would have to be in there. I still haven't had a chance to play with him. I really would like that. But anyone else, I never thought about it. Like, I never thought about that dream for four ball. I really wouldn't know. If Tiger was,
how about we make it a dream twosome with you and Tiger on the Masters Sunday?
Oh, that would be.
Or would it be the Open Sunday? Which one do you prefer there?
I'd like to beat him in both. I think I'd like to take him down the last and birdie the last on both of them in the same year and win both. That would be a dream.
There you go. That's a dream right there. That's pretty cool. But, I mean, yeah, Tiger has to be in those, right?
100%. Yeah.
All right, and then I guess for our match, this is a pretty relevant question that's upcoming at some point in to be determined future. How many strokes do you think I would need to make it a tight match between us two? So I said before the show, I told you, Tom, that currently I'm a USGA handicap is plus 2.2, which is probably a bit too low. I don't want to brag right now.
I would say, but if you're off plus 2, and we went round a course that you knew and I never played, I reckon if I gave you 4 shots, it would be pretty close. But if you came and played a course that you hadn't played and I played on it, I reckon you'd probably need 8.
Okay. That's actually not as much as I thought.
We could do both of those, though, and we can see if I'm right. But that's where I'm going with it.
Our course here, the one I play here, is pretty sneaky, to be honest with you. It's
there you go.
It's not that long. It's pretty short, but the greens are pretty tricky.
I can figure it out. I'll do it. This is my career.
Probably. But I'm looking forward to that. That would be one fun day. We gotta just do it. one of these years or one of these summers. We can get to travel again freely and all of that. But yeah, I think that was all the questions I had. I'm sure I can ask you a million more because like I said, I'm a massive golf fan. Is there anything you want to ask me in return, or are you good for now?
I know that you're about to have a baby, so congratulations for that, and fingers crossed that goes really well. I know you do an amazing job, with charities and that, and golf days. So, if that can kind of tie into my schedule, I'd love to be able to come over. But I'd love to come out and see you guys at DC United and get on the training grounds and then play golf after. That'd be awesome. So hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it for sure. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Tom, thanks again for being on. Tom will be playing in Bermuda this week at the PGA Tour event, and then next week in Houston. So go follow him on Instagram at _TL7.
Something like that.
Instagram handle.
Something like that. Yeah. It's not great. And, __ TL7.
Oh, double underscore. There you go. Perfect, man. Really appreciate you jumping on, and thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to this. Probably final episode of the first season of the Gressel special. Thanks, guys. See ya.